Sounds good.
Kate, are we good to go?
You are good to go.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Matt McNelis. I am one of the public services librarians. I'm the public services librarian for the Philadelphia campus. I'm joined today by Katresa Gardner. She is the public services librarian on the Moultrie campus. We're going to spend the next about half an hour with you guys just showing you some board review resources. We've gotten a lot of feedback about where to find question banks and what books are available for you guys for board resource review in a virtual setting. So we figured we would answer those two questions. So I'm going to spend the first 15 minutes just showing you guys some of the resources that we have, also where to find those question banks. And Katresa is going to spend the second half of it just showing you what ebooks, books available in electronic form for you guys for studying for your boards, since right now access to the physical library, we aren't open. We do have our contactless pickup on Thursdays, so I will push that if you do want a book in physical form, it's available, but if you're not able to or would prefer electronic, we have you covered for most of them. So just to begin, we are on our library main page right now. The place we're going to be living for most part of this presentation is going to be our exam prep guide. That is located up here. This is our main page up on our top bar here. We have guides. If you click that, you're going to notice there's a guide for exam prep. This is definitely important. It's going to be kind of your one-stop shop for everything regarding exam prep resources in terms of databases. Katresa is going to show you guys books a little bit more later. The four I want to talk about with my about 15 minutes are going to be the Access Medicine Study Tools, Board Vitals, Exam Master, and then we'll also briefly touch on LWW Board Review Series. We do have other resources. We do have TrueLearn, we do have Kaplan, and we do have the Comlex Level 1. Those resources, as librarians, Katresa and I don't work with quite as much. We absolutely, obviously, provide those resources to you guys, but that is set up more third party that they email you, you guys the credentials for that. So Katresa and I don't work in that quite as much as the other resources. So we're gonna put those resources aside. Those are great. I'm sure you guys use them, but I have a feeling you guys are gonna know already how to use them. And not need our help for it. So the first one I want to touch on is going to be Access Medicine. I'm just going to go down in order. So Access Medicine, Board Vitals, Exam Master, and LWW Board Review Series. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys about questions. Where do I find question banks? It sounds like that the most common advice that people who have already taken the Comlex and USMLE to you guys have been basically find question banks. Great. Where do you find those? And that's what we're here to kind of show you. So with Access Medicine, I actually already have it opened up here to make sure I'm signed in. Now with Access Medicine and with LWW, it's going to, when you click on those, it's going to ask you to authenticate and basically assert that you are a PCOM member, a member of the PCOM community, which is good. That's step one. Step two actually is going to be you need to make a free profile as well. This is especially important if you want to make sure that you are able to record and keep track of your progress. That's going to be very important in terms of your board prep. So that's why I really encourage you with both Access Medicine and with the LWW Board Review Series to actually create your own account. So you do have to go that one step further when using these resources. So I did make an account for myself. You can see Matt McNelis right there. Access Medicine is pretty straightforward in terms of the questions they can give you and the question banks. It's going to give you a listing of the different books that you have access to, a lot of the ebooks. So some of the big ones, pharmacology is here, the medical physiology, current diagnosis and treatment. These are all probably somewhat familiar to you guys, or if not, they will be very soon. Harrison's as well. And what Access does, it actually breaks each book into question banks, which is what we're probably here for. So we're going to look in the current diagnosis and treatment. Access is pretty straightforward. You can create a custom quiz. you see the different questions are here and available for you. And then you can start the quiz. And it's going to be that simple. And like I said, Access Medicine will actually keep track of your progress. Let's see, I think it's in review questions. Yeah, so here's my old test. I took one with pharmacology. Clearly, I did not do very well. I only got 1 out of 10 right, but it will keep track for you. So that way you guys can keep up on what you have done already and what you still need to do. So Access Medicine, by and large, is pretty straightforward. And like I said, each book will also not only offer questions, but will offer the different subject areas. So you can kind of focus in on a certain specific subject area, which is going to be pretty helpful if you if there's a subject area you want to work more on, or if there's something you want to work less on, you can keep it out. So pretty straightforward. So that one's Access Medicine. Might as well do LWW as well while we're at it, because these are the two that require you not only to authenticate through our PCOM network, but also to create your own login. So when you get to LWW, you can see I had already logged in, so McNelis is up here. There are going to be two options. The one is the text. Katresa is probably going to talk about that one a little later. I'm going to head into the self-assessment. And within LWW, you have the different subject areas. So, you know, we have anatomy, we have pathology, pharmacology, physiology. You can also break those out into further if you want to find something a little bit more specific. Is physiology not going to work for me? There we go. Okay. So you can see I chose anatomy, and then it breaks out into even farther. So it gets a little bit more detailed. I like this option and the way that this is organized a little bit more than Access Medicine. I think both are good though. You know, it gives you more options, which options are always going to be good when reviewing. So you can, you know, choose what areas you want to work on. Let's say, you know, the neck and the head you want to work on specifically. It gives you the question list, and you can create a quiz from there. And same thing, you know, all these other different categories, embryology, hopefully it'll break out. And it can break out and be a little bit more descriptive in detail, which I think is pretty helpful, especially like I said earlier, if you're looking for a specific area, you want to shore up a specific topic that you might not be as confident about. And that's going to be LWW. Again, very, very bare bones. I think Access and LW are going to be the more simplified versions of these, but they give you options. Again, there are going to be more options for you guys. And LWW, the same thing. You can see over here the archived quizzes. It will keep track of everything for you, so you can keep an eye on what you've been doing and how you've been doing. Okay, the next two are going to be Board Vitals and Exam Master. There we go. So Board Vitals, some of you might be familiar with what Board Vitals look like. It actually recently underwent a facelift, which is both makes it look nicer, but it's also frustrating because things can change and we don't know where everything is going. So this is the Board Vitals. This is pretty much the main page for Board Vitals. This is your dashboard. You can see you can create a new custom quiz right here. And this is where the question banks are going to come into play. You can actually choose from overarching question banks at the top of the page. So I selected USMLE Step 1 to start out with. You can set the parameters with Board Vitals, whether it be you know, unlimited, timed, all of the question statuses. If you can, you know, choose if you've already seen stuff or if you haven't, you can choose that. And then it breaks it down again, just like LWW, farther into different categories. So I think this can be pretty helpful. You can customize a lot more in Board Vitals than you can with LWW and with Access Medicine. So keep that in mind. So you can, again, choose the subject area, you know, that you really want to focus in on, or ones that you want to omit because you feel confident in that area. You can, you know, offer how many questions. You can start the quiz and go to town. And again, the same thing here with the performance. It'll give you a performance tracker, performance timeline for Board Vitals, and you can keep track of what's going on. Like I mentioned, Board Vitals will not require you to authenticate through our Open Athens system. You will have to create an individual profile, though, using your PCOM credentials. So just keep that in mind, obviously, so you can keep track of what you are doing. So that is Board Vitals. And then last but certainly not least is going to be Exam Master. Exam Master pretty much works the same way as Board Vitals. The main thing with them difference here, Board Vitals uses the term quiz pretty exclusively, where Exam Master is going to say create exam. So you can go ahead, create your exam. It'll give you kind of the outline of it, whether it be, USMLE. You guys, I don't think there are any physician assistants on here, but if there are, they do. Exam Master offers for PANCE questions, and then of course the medical certification. You can also dive into the biomedical sciences and clinical sciences as well. So once you pick that, you can pick your topic area, whether it's step 1 or eventually when you guys get to step 2, possibly step 3, and kind of create your quiz, create your exam from there. The one thing I will say about Exam Master, it doesn't dive in quite as deep as Board Vitals does in terms of what to pick for your topic areas. That it's going to give you the step 1 board preparation, and that's pretty much going to be it. But it's going to give you a wealth of questions moving forward, which is nice. And then of course with Exam Master, it offers the My Exams, to keep track, just like all the others, to make sure, track your progress. One nice thing about Exam Master is going to be the flashcard option. You guys can make flashcards. It is a little time consuming, but you can make a flashcard and then and be able to work that way. And I've seen that work. I've seen a lot of students in the library, well, not now clearly, but in the past, a lot of students that can that use flashcards to test. So you can make them virtually on Exam Master. I think the last thing just to mention that I forgot with Board Vitals, the question bank, you can actually choose different question banks. So when we head into Board Vitals, you can, I picked obviously ComLex level 1, that's what we were kind of talking about. But if you want to talk about different subject areas, you can certainly choose those question banks. And the the following questions will change based on what you decide that you are interested in. So those are pretty much the 4 main ones that I was going to hit on in terms of where the question banks are. Like, where do you go? What do you do? Like I said, all 4 of them do need their own login information, especially Board Vitals and Exam Master. You won't be able to use those until you create an account. With the Access Medicine and with LWW, you can use them, but you won't be able to track your progress. So that's why I do encourage you guys to make accounts for Access Medicine and for LWW, so that way you can keep track of your progress moving forward. But like I said, those are the 4 ones, just to show you guys where you can actually access the real question banks, since that's been a question. So hopefully that was helpful with that. And with that, I believe my portion is going to be finished, but we're going to move it over to Katresa. And then at the end, if you guys have any questions, feel free to contribute.
All right, so I'm going to pick up here and share my screen with you all. All right, so now we are back on the PCOM Library's main page. And what we're going to do to get to the ebooks is you're going to go down here under quick links and click right here on ebooks. Okay, so over to the left hand, we're going to go all the way down and we're going to click on ebook collections. And click one more time. Okay, so the main ones that I want to point out today will be, the first one is the First Aid Review, which contains over 20 review guides for boards, clerkships, and specialties. Okay, so once you do this, click on the ebooks, you're going to have to log in with your PCOM credentials. Okay, so now we're on the first aid test prep. And what you have access here, it says you have 42 results for books. If you want to get more specific, select a different book, you click on more down here, and it gives you the different specialties that you can go into and click on. Let's see, I'm going to click on microbiology. Okay, and so here's one book here. It says First Aid for Basic Sciences, General Principles, 3rd edition. Okay, then you're going to click on Open ebook. Okay, so this is the book, and it says that there are 529 pages up here at the top. What you want to do is use this side panel over here. If you click on publication information, you'll get the publication information. If you need citation information, you can click there to cite. The details of the book, click on that. Actually, I don't believe that has any information in that, but the outline is what I really want to get to. It will break down the contents of the book, so you see the table of contents. So if you want to jump straight to anatomy and histology for chapter 1, or if you want to focus in on another area like microbiology, you can click on that chapter and jump over to that particular chapter. And of course, you have options up at the top of the screen where you can zoom in. And I would suggest once you get to where you want to be to just go back to publication info. If you click that again, it'll remove that side panel. So this is just like a toggle panel where you can toggle back and forth between looking at the contents and where you actually want to go to. And there are different views up here at the top. I want to point out the reading options. If you click on this option of reading options, if you prefer one page, you can click on the one page. It'll give you just the one page. We can zoom in up here. If you prefer, you can change your reading flow as well. It gives you the 2-page options as well. So that's a little functionality on how to navigate through the ebooks. There is an option for PDF as well. So that is actually up to the right corner of the page. You'll click the drop down arrow. I can't see it. Let me move my, okay, yeah, there you go. So you'll see it says download document, the PDF. So you can download that. Like Matt mentioned, it's always great to create an account with these things. That way you can take advantage of the full functionality of the materials. Okay. So up here, if you go back to the page where we open it up, you can register, and that'll just allow you to do more things like email the book, add it to your favorites, and track it, print, and so forth like that. Okay, so if you want to go back over, you go back over to the publication information. There's a feature here. Let's see, is it materials? No, it was notes and annotations. So what you can do here, you have to create an account with Remark. You can take notes, make comments, and collaborate with peers. So that's pretty a neat feature if you want to utilize that as well. It has some more functionality, but you would definitely have to create an account with Remark. And that's pretty much how you would use as far as functionality with First Aid Review. And you can also jump to different pages and go to a particular page number and so forth. So it's pretty simple interface to use this one. So I'm gonna head back to ebook collections, and the next one that I want to show you is going to be the LWW Board Review Series. So this one has the USMLE Step 1 exams with 5,000 multiple choice of review questions. And there's some comprehensive self-assessments. I believe that Matthew showed you that already, but I just wanted to point you out, show you what the BRS series books are. And these are our digital collections. Okay, so this looks familiar. What you want to do is go down here to click on text. And now you have access to all the board review series books, BRS books. And you can see the different subject areas. They're all here in this particular spot. Gross anatomy, physiology, so forth. And I'm just going to click on behavior science. And this one here breaks it down by the chapters. You can see the chapters and the topics for each chapter. You can search if you're looking for something specific, or you can just click on where you want to go. Okay, so this is chapter 1. And there's an audio component to this particular, to this series here. If you want to listen to the text, you can do that as well. Or if you want to read it, that's an option as well. So to pull it out. Okay. Also, you can share this. There's a share option. If you want to share the book, you can share it by email. It's free for 72 hours. That's an option as well, but you definitely want to create your account. Okay, so for this chapter, over to the left, you'll see the chapter contents if you want to just switch back and forth to different topics. There's a review test as well. And it just gives you a review over what you've learned in the chapter, that you can take a test, and there's also answers and explanations that provides the answers. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to the ebook collections page. The next one that I want to show you, let's see. Yes, McGraw-Hill ebook library. So this is the first 8 series in USMLE study guides to give you the edge to excel on your coursework and on the boards, of course. Okay, so once you get to this book series here, you want to go down. If you click under medical, you can go in the first aid test prep or USMLE first aid. Let's click on that one. Okay, so here you see it says results are 19 of 19. And these are your first aid for the USMLE. You have step 1, step 2, and so forth. So let's just click on the first one here. You can open the book. And this looks very familiar. Same functionality as the other first one that I showed you, the first aid review. So it works the same way. Okay, back on the ebook collection. I believe those were the top 3 that will be the best bets as far as board review ebooks. So again, once you're on the main page of the library, just click down under quick links, ebooks, scroll down to the ebook collections. And here they are. All right. So are there any questions? Okay, does anyone have any questions? All right, so if there are no questions, we would like for you to take a survey that's in the chat box that will help us to understand what you've gained from today's sessions, any improvements, any information we did not cover that you would like to see. Matt, did you want to add anything else?
Nope. You added it. Yeah, I put the survey, the link to the survey in the chat. If you guys are willing to please fill it out. Help us make these even better, as we're going to be doing these monthly or maybe even every other week on various resources throughout the term. So that would be very helpful.
All right. Well, thank you for attending.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.